Well before Michael Jackson passing away, Lady Diana, Lorena Bobbitt, the Buttafuoco situation, trash TV was, not say started here, but pretty close. And not say trash TV, but millions and millions of people across the world were watching it live. One of the original reality shows that was all but true. Today we're going to be talking about the curious case of the rescue of a baby called Jessica McClure. Now, Jessica McClure Morales, born March 26, 1986, fell into a well in her aunt's backyard in Midland, Texas on October 14, 1987 at the age of 18 months. Now, over the next 56 hours, a lot of this was broadcast live, rescuers worked to successfully free her from the 8-inch 20 centimeters, 8 inches, well casing, approximately 22 feet below sea level. The story galvanized worldwide attention and was later featured in a 1989 ABC television movie, Everybody's Baby, the rescue of Jessica McClure. Now, for a lot of people that don't know this, at the time, ladies and gentlemen, CNN was the most watched channel in the world because of their coverage of many things. This before the Gulf War as well. CNN had done a lot of hearings. Jessica Hahn, like the guns for hostages situation, the whole thing. But the idea of CNN coverage, it was available in Canada, different countries around the world. And when this occurred, people started watching. I think it was about 35 hours into the rescue, and it was pretty well updated and non-stop coverage. I watched the last several hours of it at my stepmother's location, Campbellton, with some of my relatives. Well, relatives via my dad's relationship with the person, and everybody was transfixed, and so was I. I was in my second year of paid journalism at the time. I didn't do a story on it, but I was fascinated how they covered it in a very high-key or low-key way. Now, aspects of the case are pretty straightforward. Again, the incident occurred in Midland, Texas, where firemen and police developed a plan to drill the parallel shaft to the well where Jessica was lodged. Now, we don't know how she got in. Did someone drop her deliberately, or did she go head first? Now, on the rescuers, they wanted to drill another horizontal cross tunnel to rescue her. Now, Jessica's mother heard her cries from down there and was trying to find her. If you watch the movie, she basically literally was down the well. Now, enlisting the help of local oil drillers, because Midland had a lot of oil drillers, officials hoped to free McClure quickly before discovering the well was surrounded by rock. The rescuers' jackhammers were also inadequate, as they were designed for downward rather than horizontal drilling. Now, a mining engineer eventually arrived to help supervise and coordinate the rescue effort, and a relatively new technology, water jet cutting, which is quite commonplace now in 2021, was ultimately used to cut through the rock. 45 hours after Jessica fell into the well, the adjacent shaft and cross tunnel were completed. Now, during the drilling, rescuers could hear Jessica singing Winnie the Pooh. Now, a roofing contractor, Ron Short, volunteered to go down the shaft. He had been born without collarbones and collapsed his shoulders to work in tight confines. The team considered his offer, but paramedic Robert O'Donnell was ultimately able to inch his way into the tunnel, wrestle Jessica free from her position, pinned inside the well with one leg above her forehead, and hand her to a fellow paramedic who carried her up to safety before giving her to another paramedic who carried her to a waiting ambulance. Now, CNN covered the rescue effort, with then-President Ronald Reagan saying everybody in America became godmothers and godfathers of Jessica while this was going on. Now, I think it triggered something in the North American audience especially, because we all care for children across both our nations, and it's not just somebody's son or granddaughter. That could have been anybody's niece, anybody's cousin, and things unfortunately happen with young children. Either they fall down steps or get bitten or whatever, because the greatest fear is your child being in danger, of course. Now, throughout the incident, local media outlet KMID TV received calls from news organizations and private individuals globally seeking the latest information. I think at one point there was almost like 400 to 500 people at the rescue site. Now, in '88, McClure and her parents appeared on Live with Regis and Kathy Lee to talk about the incident. Now, The rescue also made media history as a photograph of McClure's rescue received the '88 Pulitzer Prize for spot news photography to Scott Shaw of the Odessa American. Now, because ABC made a television movie of the story in '89, Everybody's Baby, the rescue of Jessica McClure, Patty Duke and Bo Bridges were called in to star, and the movie featured many participants from the actual rescue as extras. Now, on May 30, 2007, USA Today ranked McClure number 22 of its list of 25 lives of indelible impact. Anyway, you had to see it live to really gain the strength. If the baby wouldn't have survived, it would have been American's heartache. But when she came up and everybody saw she was okay, and I did have a few people in my extended friends and family say this was fake. This was not fake, ladies and gentlemen. You can't fake something like this, because obviously, 1987, some of the ways could be done to get the baby out, just to lift the whole metal itself. Now, following McClure's rescue in October 1687, surgeons had to amputate a toe due to gangrene caused by loss of circulation while she was in the well. Now, Jessica still carries a scar on her forehead where her head rubbed against the well casing, and despite the incident and 15 subsequent related surgeries, carries no first-hand memory of the events. And, of course, it was news when her parents divorced in 1990. Now, unfortunately, paramedic Robert O'Donnell died by suicide in 1995 as he suffered post-traumatic stress disorder after rescue, struggling to cope with the event and a subsequent decline in attention. Now, in May 2004, McClure graduated from Greenwood High School in a small community near Midland. On January 28, 2006, she married Daniel Morales at the Church of Christ in Northeast, Texas, about 40 miles from Midland. They met at the daycare center where she worked with his sister. They have two children, a boy born in 2007 and a girl born in 2009. Now, when McClure turned 35 on March 26, 2011, she received a trust fund comprised of donations from around the world, which she discussed using for her children's college, and which she used to purchase her home less than 2 miles from the well into which she fell. Now, it's also part of popular culture. Of course, the Simpsons referred the incident with an episode about Barb Simpson falling and becoming stuck inside the well. In 2010, blues musician Charlie Musselwhite released an album titled The Well. In the title song, he credits McClure's ordeal for inspiring him to quit drinking. In 2010, her story was featured satirically in a Saturday Night Live sketch, What's Up With That, or part of a sketch. And in the 2007 Heavy is the Head episode of Modern Family, Cam has great difficulty getting an MRI scan. He later attributes his fear to being stuck in a well as a teenager on the same day as baby Jessica. Now, numerous people have fallen into a well over the years. Floyd Collins in 1925, the Copiapó mining accident, which was a similarly highly covered event. Kathy Fiscus, a child who died after falling a well in 49. Alfredo Rampi, a child who died again after falling a well in 81. Julian Rosello, who was a child who died after falling into a well in 2019. Now, not sure what the ratings were for that situation, but I was thinking it's the $50 million range. But the type of coverage that they provided was also tied in. You see with the O.J. Simpson White Bronco chase, very similar font and production. There was a time, ladies and gentlemen, that CNN wasn't the CNN that it is now. I am not a left-winger or right-winger. CNN and Fox News, there's no difference really, because one just takes one side, takes the other side. But at the time, it was raw data that they were providing. And Ted Turner was running that and basically said, keep the camera on it, whatever happens is news. And that also applied to the Reagan assassination in 81. But this, of course, the McClure case was after the shuttle disaster of 86. And it was like pillar-to-post coverage. There was no spin. It was just basically, she's down a well, will she get out or get not? And you didn't have 45 psychologists on saying, oh, how will she suffer post-traumatic syndrome and all that. There was nothing of that. It was just basically people saying this is how they're building, they're down so many inches or so many centimeters. But like I said, it was fascinating. And as a young journalist at the time, I'm 55 now, I was just turned 22. I soaked up that like crazy. I'm not a videographer, but I know how the public can be, not say sucked in, but people of a certain age, when you don't even talk about baby Jessica anymore. You got to be, 13, 34, you got to be in your 50s and 60s to fully remember this. Because even kids under the age of 40, I call you guys kids, have no memory of this. Because it was fascinating. And she looked like everybody's baby, as we like to say. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's the story of the rescue of the beautiful baby Jessica. If you like what we're doing here with our Vintage TV podcast, let us know with a like, comment, and subscribe. And I always like to say, in Northern New Brunswick, don't get caught in a well, because sometimes CNN won't save you. Have a good day. Bye.